Hey guys, my name's Niko, and this is the fifth episode of my blog about the album that I'm making at the moment, which is called Even in Dreams. So I've got some really good recording done over the last 2 weeks. I've been super productive. Unfortunately, though, I haven't been able to sing at all or make any singing videos because I've had this weird throat thing that like refuses to go away, and it's not that bad, but I don't want to push it and make it worse. I only I actually only started singing sort of properly at the beginning of this year, and up until then I sort of had an appreciation for how bad getting sick was for singers, but I didn't really empathize with the frustration, and now that I feel it, it's just like, oh, it's so annoying. I can't practice, I sing all the time normally, so I have to just stop myself from doing it. Anyway, I'm sure I'll be better again in a week or two, and I'll be back to making videos. But in the meantime, you can have a look at some of the footage of the recording that I've been doing this last 2 weeks. Mainly, I got all the bass done, and all the drums are done as well. Pretty much all the writing's finished, and now I'm on to rhythm and lead guitars, which are the fun part. I guess now is as good a time as any to talk about some of the musical concepts that I'm planning to use across the record. So I've said previously in other videos that obviously it's going to be a rock record. There's going to be sort of full band instrumentation to guitars, bass, and drums. And that there's going to be a lot of double beat stuff, like pretty fast, similar to sort of modern pop punk, I guess. But at the same time, I'm really influenced by a lot of what would be called progressive rock bands, I guess. And one of my favorite bands at the moment, or for the last couple of years even, is Biffy Clyro, this Scottish band. And they incorporate a lot of what would be considered to be like prog rock elements in their songs. That's including like wacky time signatures and like non sort of standard chord progressions and non-standard song structures and that kind of thing. So I'm trying to, I don't know, be a little bit more experimental while still keeping it accessible enough. But in terms of, from an actual musical perspective, I really wanted there to be like a set of themes that sort of traveled throughout the record that you'd recognize and pick up on, like even to the point where there are like recurring melodies or melodies that get reused or like twisted in different ways across the different songs. And one of the main ones that you'll hear is this, which you hear it once in the intro and then it gets redone in a lot of different ways across the record. And the most obvious version of that sort of melodic idea that you hear is right at the beginning. So the intro goes into action reaction, which of course the riff is like that kind of thing. So you get points if you can find all of the different ways in which I've used that melody. Like I said, twisted it, broken it up, changed it into different keys. Like there are major versions, not just the minor version of that melody, strewn throughout the album. So yeah, I had a lot of fun sort of doing, or at least I've only done the arrangements in my head so far, but I've had a lot of fun figuring out clever ways in which I could reuse that melody and keep the sort of themes consistent throughout the record. So something you'll definitely hear is this kind of that major minor six kind of tonality. Like it's in, at least right now it's in E minor. And it actually ends up in E major. But anyway, at the moment, another sort of version of that is in Tranquilizer, which goes that kind of thing. So that is that major minor sort of thing is a very strong theme. And I guess one of the reasons that I wanted to use it is I felt like the whole twisting between major and minor thing was quite. I feel like it's quite representative of how dreams sometimes go. Like it's so your brain can transition from like something that's pleasant or benign rather into some just abject horror of a nightmare so quickly. So I've just finished recording all the bass, or at least guides for all the bass, and like it honestly doesn't sound that interesting. I'll show you, but like. Yeah, so that's from Trapped. I don't know. You sort of have to imagine at this point what the rest of the song is going to sound like, and just have faith that it's going to be good. So while I'm waiting for this to freeze, I just discovered something really cool. So I've set up this loop in Logic so that I can just play the same section over and over again while I like work out ideas, basically. And it's a little clean section, but it's got this big hit that comes into it at the beginning, and because the hit's on the first thing of the loop, it's this little clean section here. It means that the hit's in every loop. So I'm thinking, it actually sounds cool enough that I just want to actually put this in the real thing, have it go around a few times. Anyway, I'm not sure what I'm going to play there, but I'm working it out. I just thought that was cool. So I thought it would be useful if we quickly had a look at the spreadsheet. I hope this isn't making you feel like you're at work. But anyway, so as you can see, sort of most of the writing's done. Lyrics and music almost all green there, which I'm super happy about. Almost all the drums are done, all the bass. I'm still sort of missing one song because I have this song called Joke, and I only have the chorus for it, and I'm thinking that I'm going to replace it with a totally new song. But I also thought it would be potentially cool to write a song after the album's mostly done, so to have a song that was written in the context of like everything being finished. These are all yellow because I haven't decided on the track order yet, apart from Action Reaction coming first and Surrounded Alone being last, right at the end. So I've got basically the whole song done in terms of guitars, bass, and drums for Action Reaction and for Trapped. I don't know why I did Trapped first. But yeah, anyway, hopefully we're going to see this sort of area here fill up with green over the next week or so.